Good afternoon, CES, and welcome to Tamco Live. Keeping our essential businesses open and operational is the most important thing we can do right now. So a huge thank you to all of our teams for doing just that and staying on the front lines, providing our customers the product they need to keep their essential businesses open today. But what's equally as important is being informed and having up-to-date and current information on where we stand, as we know that knowledge is power, and we want you to have the power to supply. So something special with today's session is at the end we're going to host a live question and answer section. So please post your questions in the chat channel. We will get to them towards the end, and we will answer as many as we can as the time will allow. To give everyone an update from a Tamco perspective, currently all of our production and fulfillment centers are fully operational and up and running. We're currently shipping all in-stock orders within 24 hours, and we are offering free freight on all of our products through until June. Wait, this just in, live from the news desk, live from Tamco Live's news desk. It's not just till June for the free freight. We will be hosting free freight going forward. And I know you're all very excited and most likely happy that you already tuned in. Another important thing that we're doing right now as Tamco is we've worked with the CES management team, and we are providing vital COVID supplies. Your toilet papers, your paper towels, your cleaning supplies to keep your branches clean, disinfected, and up and operational. What we were just received today is our order of masks. So we now have available disposable face masks, okay? The first round of these face masks are designed to be supplied to our employees, as providing them the required PPE is critical to keeping us supplying the frontline workers. So, last year was a very exciting year for Tamco. Last year, we moved into our brand new 411,000 square foot Tamco headquarters right here in Port St. Lucie, Florida, the very building we're in today. That move was extremely exciting, and it took us from September to January 2020. It was challenging, but we had a lot of fun doing it. Another exciting thing that happened last year is our Charlotte Tamco Fulfillment Center completed its first full year of operations. So a huge thank you to the Charlotte team and the branches that supported it in its first year. Also, our Dallas Fulfillment Center expanded its product offering to now have all of Tamco's product lines available to be fulfilled through our Dallas Fulfillment Center. So back to Tamco Port St. Lucie. Seeing is believing, and we believe by the fact that there was over 50 groups that wanted to come and take tours that a lot of people wanted to see what we had going on down here in Port St. Lucie. Unfortunately, we have had to cancel those tours due to the coronavirus, but we also value the meaning of what those tours are to us as a company. The tours are great times that we get to share together and share our pride and passion for the very same business that we work for. We'd have nights out and we have jokes and laughs, sometimes even at each other's expense. But I think most importantly were the amazing and delicious dinners that we had at Duffy's. And I know you're all currently missing those dinners at Duffy's, but don't wait. We will get back to them as soon as we can. But like everything else, we must adapt, we must overcome, all right? And we must continue to move on. There is a lot to see here in Port St. Lucie, and there's even more to talk about. So today, we're going to take a virtual tour of our production and manufacturing area. And to help us with that tour, I would like to invite a very special Tamco team member, John Raising the Bartle, our production manager for Tamco. John, how are you today?
I'm well, Jordan. How are you?
I'm doing much better now that someone's up here with me. So we will get through this together, my friend.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I got some questions to kind of walk us through the production area and talk about different parts of the business that we've improved. What would you say is the most significant new addition to the manufacturing area?
Well, really, it kind of all centers around this new building. Anyone who's visited us before remembers that we were in a small 40,000 square foot space, which we've expanded now to almost 150,000 square feet. We were in 3 separate bays, not exactly an ideal manufacturing scenario. So really what this has meant, what the biggest impact this has been is just moving into the space itself, being able to operate in a efficient way without stepping all over ourselves, moving pallets here and there. We finally have a place to store everything. finally have a place to set things in order and to actually manufacture in an efficient manner.
Well, I don't know if you guys caught that, but we went from 40,000 square feet of manufacturing space to over 140,000 square feet of dedicated manufacturing space. That is a substantial amount of size increase, and I'm sure John and his team are getting their steps in every day as they walk through that expanded facility. What does this new facility mean to you?
Really, it's about expanded capacity, doing things that we were never really able to do before. Anyone who sees what we're able to accomplish now, bringing parts in that we were never able to manufacture here in the States before, bringing in our 4-inch square box covers for Centaur or the kick plates for F4P, being able to manufacture those here, that's what means the most. And I think that's what has the biggest impact on manufacturing as a whole.
Yeah, it's, I think as a company, we take an absolute high amount of pride in the fact that we manufacture as many products as we do and continuing to look to expand our manufacturing products here in the USA. I mean, if you guys can see through the window, the IB LEDs out here, John Bartle's team built. How many thousands of those are in this building?
1,500, I believe.
So there you go, 1,500 of those John Bartle and his team built for our facility here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So, not just manufacturing Tamlite, but expanding that to Centaur and F4P and kind of continuing to build on that Made in America is a big pride factor. So try to put yourself in someone else's shoes here for a minute. What if you were a customer and you were walking into this facility? What do you think would be a big wow factor?
Well, first thing is just walking into the building and seeing, it's going to have the biggest impact on people who had visited us before in the old building. Seeing where we were before to what we've come to now is going to have the biggest impact on anyone, again, that has seen the old building, the old warehousing. But anyone who's coming here for the first time, even being able to see what we're operating in and the capacity that we have. You take a tour throughout our manufacturing plant, and you see all the machines, you see the assembly lines, and you kind of get an idea, whether it's a small idea or a big idea, of what we're able to accomplish. Seeing the laser, what we can cut on the laser, really anything, any job that you can bring us, given enough time, we can manufacture it. We can take it all the way from the design element all the way up through production, assembly, manufacturing, and have it shipped out the door.
Yeah, to play off of that, I think someone walking in this facility would give them the confidence in the capacity that your team has today to deliver on projects or stock and flow or whatever the case is. It really sets us a whole new level on what we can deliver to the customers. So. Well, John, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate it. But I'd like you to stay with us here. We're gonna move on to our question and answer session. And today's question and answer session is actually brought to us by F4P. And F4P's brand new waterproof wire connectors, now available. So the first question we have here today is, will tours start back up later this year? By no means are we scientists or doctors. Obviously, there's social requirements that we have to follow too and be responsible. But as soon as possible, we would like to get the tour started back up. As we mentioned earlier, the tours are a great point where we get to interact with our customers and we get to show them what we do. And really, it's kind of opens the door to the true pride that the team has here and what we do and what we set out to accomplish every single day. So as soon as possible, we will get the tour started right back up. So our second question, sorry, we're bouncing around a little bit here. The second question, I see a lot of steel out there. How much do you guys go through? So we got John here with us today. So John, why don't you answer that question for the audience?
Sure. So on an annual basis, we can go probably around 250 tons of steel, so 500,000 pounds of steel. We'll use anywhere, probably the most we would use in a day is about a ton. And that's in processing anywhere from the laser that use sheets of steel to coils of steel that are stamped out on our stamping presses that can be consumed in the powder coating booth, anywhere in between there, but about a ton of steel a day.
Fantastic. That's a ton of information. So our third question for today, how has the situation of COVID-19 affected Tamco down in Florida? So by no means are we immune to it, just like no one's business and or personally are they immune to it. But the fact is we've had to adapt. Yeah, we've absolutely had to modify. We have staff where possible that used to work in offices is now working at home, but then we have other team members similar to the team at the branches that are on the front lines, like our production workers, our warehouse workers, and some other operational workers that physically have to be here to do their job. So they're still here today. They're still working just like all of our teams are to get the products out to the customers as and when they need them. So yeah, we have modified a little bit of how we function, social distancing, things of that nature, having people work remote, but ultimately we're still here, we're still fully operational, and we're ready to support as and when needed. So we won't be able to get to all the questions today because we are trying to stay on a tight timeline. We don't want to overrun, but what we would like to have you guys do is provide us some feedback. So if you have feedback on how we could improve this, please email us at tamcolive@tamcogroup.com. All right, I would like to thank everyone for their time today. We really appreciate what you're doing, staying out there on the front lines, making it happen for all of us. Just like you're out there supporting your customers, please know we are here to support you. Have a great afternoon.